So good morning to all of you. Today we are going to see fluid dynamics part. So in fluid dynamics we are actually dealing with the forces which are responsible for motion of the fluid particle. In fluid kinematics already we have seen the effect of forces. Effect of forces mean the acceleration, velocities, all already we have seen in fluid kinematics. But as far as the fluid dynamics is concerned, in this fluid dynamics part we are dealing with the forces. The branch of fluid mechanics in which we are dealing with the study of motion of fluid flow. We are dealing with the study of motion of the fluid flow, along with we are dealing with the cause of the flow. Cause of the flow means along with we are dealing with the forces which are causing the flow. Okay. So the study of forces is considered by using Newton's second law of motion. Now, whatever the derivation we are going to do in this fluid dynamics part, that derivation are based upon the Newton's second law of motion. What is Newton's second law? The rate of change of momentum will be equal to the net force acting on the body. That is net force will be equal to mass into acceleration. So if you want to write down the equation, so this is the Newton's second law, and this F is generally is called resultant force. This is resultant force, or this is called net force, and this M is called as mass of the body. Okay, this M is called as mass of the body, and this acceleration is called the A is called acceleration due to gravity. Okay, so if you want to write down the force in x direction, that is called M into AX. Okay, the mass of the body in acceleration in x direction. If you want to write down in y direction, the forces in y direction will be equal to mass into acceleration in y direction. Similarly, you can write also in z direction. So now we will look into what are the set of forces are acting on a fluid mass. So these are the set of forces. First one is called gravitational force, the force due to the weight of the fluid mass. Second one is called pressure force, and third one is called the force due to viscosity, viscous force, and this is called force due to turbulence. Turbulence means when the fluid particles are moving with very high velocities, in high fluctuation of fluid velocities are there, that kind of forces, the force due to turbulence. And last one is called the force due to compressibility. Okay, so these are the 5 set of forces are acting on a fluid mass. So now if you want to write down the net force, if you want to write down the net force on acting on a fluid mass, so this is the net force which is acting on a fluid mass. This is force in x direction. If you want to write down, net force in x direction will be equal to the forces in x direction due to gravity, the forces in x direction due to pressure, the forces in x direction due to the viscous force, the force in x direction due to turbulence force, the force in x direction due to the compressibility force. So this is the if the flow is considered in x direction. So if the flow is considered in x direction, then we can write. If the flow will be considered in some y direction, similarly you can write down the forces acting in y direction. So this is the general form of forces acting on it. This is general equation of forces which acting on a fluid mass. So if you are neglecting the force due to compressibility, the force due to compressibility you are neglecting, that will be equal to 0. And if you are rewriting the equation is force in x direction due to the gravitational force, the force due to pressure in x direction, the force in viscous force in x direction, and the force due to turbulence in x direction. That set of equation is called as Reynolds equation. In Reynolds equation, basically the force due to compressibility has been ignored. Now if you are ignoring, so if you are ignoring, now if you are in for the Reynolds equation, we have ignored the force due to compressibility is 0. If we are ignoring the force due to turbulence, force due to turbulence also we are neglecting. If we are writing the net force in x direction will be equal to the force due to gravity in x direction plus the force due to pressure force in x direction plus the force due to viscous force in x direction. This is the set of forces which are actually considering in that equation. This equation generally is called as Navier-Stokes equation. This is called Navier-Stokes equation. Okay, Navier-Stokes equation. So now if you are again neglecting, so this is force due to compressibility already has been neglected, force due to turbulence also has been neglected. Now if you neglect the force due to viscous force, if you are neglecting, if you are write down the net force in x direction, that is force due to gravity, so force due to gravity in x direction plus the force due to pressure that is in x direction plus this is the set of forces. Already you have ignored the viscous force. If this is the set of forces which are actually acting on a fluid mass, this equation generally is called as Euler's equation. This is called Euler's equation. So in Euler equation, only gravity, the force due to gravity and the force due to pressure has been considered, and in Navier-Stokes equation, the force due to gravity, the force due to pressure and force due to viscous force has been considered. Basically, Navier-Stokes equation, the viscosity part has been taken into account, but as far as the Euler equation is considered, in this one the viscous force has been neglected. Okay. Now if you see the next one, so now if you consider a streamline, okay, now we are considering this equation, Euler equation. Okay, so now we are going to derive this Euler's equation. Euler's equation. So this if you want to derive this derivation, you can do the derivation of Euler equation. If you want to derive this Euler equation, so you have to choose a streamline. Okay, so the Euler equation, the net force is acting, so the net force is acting will be equal to the force due to gravity and the force due to pressure force. This is the Euler equation. Okay, other forces we have been neglected in Euler equation, the force due to gravity and pressure force we have been considered. Okay, so now if you want to find out the Euler equation, what is the actual Euler equation, now we have to choose a streamline. So we have to choose a streamline. Okay, this is the streamline along which the fluid flow is happening. So this is the streamline, and suppose this is point A and this is my point B. So along this streamline, if I consider a cylindrical body, along this streamline I am consider a cylindrical part. Okay, and this cylindrical, in this cylindrical part I will consider all the forces which are acting on this cylindrical part. So first of all, the weight of the this cylindrical part, whatever the fluid mass of this one acting downward, that is the weight of this, the weight due to the gravitational force, and the pressure force is acting on this one. This is the pressure force. Suppose this one is the cross sectional area of the cylinder is dA, and the pressure force acting on this side is called P, and the force, if you write down, this is P into dA, and if you similarly here will be P plus some change in pressure into dA. Okay, so Euler equation basically we are considering the pressure force and the force due to gravitational force. So that has been discussed in our next slides. So this is the cylindrical, this is the streamline. So this is the streamline. So this, in this streamline, if you are considering the cylindrical part, this is the cylindrical part we are considering, and the pressure force acting on this one is P into dA, and along this one is the pressure force will be P plus del P by del S will be into ds into dA. How this is coming? For a very small change in ds, suppose there will be change in pressure dP. Okay, because pressure is a function of distance only. So for unit change in distance, the change in pressure will be del P by del S. So what is the change ds? If there is a ds change in path, that is called dP dou P by dou S into this is ds. So that is has been considered here. Okay, so there will be P plus del P by del S into ds. Now this point is called A, and this point is, suppose this point is called B. Okay, now suppose this one I have considered as the datum line. So this is the datum line and considered, and the elevation of this point B is, suppose this one is del Z. The elevation has been taken del Z, and the distance between this point A and B along this streamline direction, that is called ds. and the weight of this fluid mass or weight of the fluid element in the cylindrical fluid element is acting downward, which is general density into volume into G. The volume can be written into dA into the length ds into G. And suppose this has been at angle at this weight is acting at an angle of theta along with the streamline. Okay, so now suppose the density of the fluid is taken as G and the acceleration due to gravity is taken as G. So if you now consider the what are the net force is actually acting along this streamline body. Along this streamline means in which direction the water is flowing. If you take the component of the weight, so along this streamline path, that will become as W cos theta. So this is acting in this direction. So this PdA acting direction and this acting. So in next slide I will write down the net force acting on the fluid element. So if you see, the net force will be acting, suppose this is my PdA, so this is I am taking the reference axis. So along this one acting the P into dA, and in this direction it is acting P plus del P by del S into ds into dA, and along this one in weight is acting W cos theta, and this can also write as rho dou A into dou S into cos theta. So the fluid flow is acting in this direction. This is my, I assume this is my positive axis, and this fluid particle is moving with a velocity v. So what are the net forces acting? The net forces acting on this fluid element will be, so net forces will be acting, this fluid element will be, so as the element is moving along the streamline, so as the element is moving along this streamline, considering the Newton's second law of motion, we are considering Newton. So the forces along the net forces acting along the streamline will be equal to the mass of the fluid element into acceleration along the streamline. This is my equation 1. So if I write down the net forces, so P dA minus, because I already told you this is my reference, the fluid is moving, the fluid element, the element is moving in this direction. So this is my P into dA, and this is my P plus del P by del S into ds into this is dA. So this is the net force acting on this fluid particle. So if you see this one, so if you write down the equation, this is P dA plus P dou P by dou S into ds into dA minus again here is W weight component of this one, W cos theta is acting. So this is rho, this is the weight into cos theta. We will equal to mass into acceleration. Mass can be written as density into volume. So density into volume it is written, this is density into volume dV I can write. So into AS, okay. So this is mass into density into volume, I can write rho into density. So if you this open this bracket, so the net final equation is coming out to be this one, rho into dA into ds. Okay. Now if you go to the next part, if you solve this equation, so if you solve this equation, I can write down the acceleration along the streamline can be, I already told you fluid particle is moving. The acceleration is a part of two components, one is convective acceleration and second one is local acceleration. So the convective acceleration is due to the change in velocity with respect to change in space, and the local acceleration is the change in velocity with respect to change in time. Okay. So in Euler equation we have assumed the flow to be steady flow. We assume the flow to be steady flow. So the change in velocity with respect to change in time. So the change in velocity with respect to this change in time will be equal to 0. So as long as the steady flow is considered, this is the equal to 0. So now if you write down the net acceleration will be equal to only a convective part. So if you put this one, so this is already we have seen, and in acceleration part we have put this b into dou b by dou s. Okay. So now this dA ds is cancelled. Okay. So now the net equation is coming out to be this one. And if you rewrite the equation in the next slide, if you rewrite the equation, so this is the G cos theta plus B dV into dou B by dou S equal to 0. Now this is the axis, this is the ds, this is suppose this is the point A, and this is point A, this is my point B, and this elevation, this is my diaphragm line I have taken, and this is dz distance, and this one is I have considered theta. So cos theta, if you write down from this one, that is dz by ds. Okay, so now if you put this one is dz by ds, if you put, and this is coming out to be v into dv by ds. So now final equation, and here the velocity is only a function of space. Okay, so as it is only one function variable, so we can write down the partial derivative in the form of a direct derivative. So 1 by rho, this is a kind of this is dp by ds into g dz by ds plus v into dv by ds. So if you remove the ds part, and the final equation is, this is dp, and this is g del z plus v dv will be equal to 0. So this equation is nothing but it is called as Euler equation. This one is called as Euler equation. Okay, so Euler equation is based upon the conservation of momentum, because it is already have derived the equation from the Newton's second law of motion. Okay, and Euler equation we have assumed the flow to be steady flow. Okay, so if you integrate this Euler equation, so now some important points we have to remember about this Euler equation. So Euler equation, we already consider the forces that due to pressure force and the forces due to gravity. These two forces only are considered in Euler equation derivation. Other forces has been neglected in derivation of the Euler equation. So what are the two equations? Two forces are considered. First one is called pressure force, and second one is called gravitational force. And as this viscous force has been neglected, as the viscous force is neglected, this is the force due to the viscosity of the liquid. So Euler equation is applicable for inviscid fluid, in the fluid which has zero viscosity, then in that fluid we can apply this Euler equation. Means it is generally applicable for ideal fluid. Okay, this is generally applicable for ideal fluid flow. Ideal fluid means what? Whose viscosity will be equal to 0. That is called ideal fluid. Means for ideal fluid only the Euler equation has been applicable. So next point is Euler equation is valid for steady flow. Already we have seen that local acceleration will be equal to 0. We have seen the local acceleration will be equal to 0. So Euler equation is applicable to steady flow only. Okay, steady flow only. And already the force due to compressibility also is neglected. Hence it is also valid for incompressible fluid flow. Okay, so this is also applicable for incompressible fluid flow. And also we have neglected the force due to turbulence. Force due to turbulence has been neglected, so it is only valid for laminar flow. It is not valid for turbulent flow. Laminar flow, it is also called as viscous flow, or it also called as a streamline flow. Okay, streamline flow means Euler equation is applicable for steady incompressible flow, and also it is applicable for laminar and streamline flow. Okay, and this is this Euler equation is applicable for ideal flow. Means for real fluid Euler equation is not applicable. That is for C. Okay, so now if you see the next, the Bernoulli equation. This is Bernoulli equation means if you write down the Euler equation, that is dp by rho plus v dot dz plus v dv equal to 0. This is my Euler equation. And if you integrate this equation, and before doing integration, one thing you have to see, the density of the fluid is constant, and the fluid is incompressible. Okay, so if the density will be constant, then you can do the integration. So now if you integrate, the final equation is coming out to be this one. Okay, this one p by rho. And if you rewrite this equation again, this is my p by rho g plus z plus p square by 2g will be equal to constant. So this is called as Bernoulli equation. This is my Bernoulli equation. So p by what is p by rho g? Z b square by 2g we will discuss in later. We have to understand this Bernoulli equation is applicable for steady. Whatever the assumption has been taken in Euler equation, that assumption must be applied in Bernoulli equation derivation also. But this Bernoulli equation is only applicable when the flow is irrotational flow. If the fluid flow is irrotational, then the Bernoulli equation can be applied, okay, at various sections along a pipe flow. But suppose there is a pipe flow is happening. Suppose this is my pipe flow is happening. Along this pipe flow, if you want to apply this Bernoulli equation, the Bernoulli equation can be applied only when the fluid flow is irrotational. Then the Bernoulli equation can be applied at various sections. But if the fluid is rotational flow, then it cannot be applied at a particular section. So if the fluid is rotational, then the Bernoulli equation can be applicable along a particular streamline. Okay, so that is the pipe flow is a set of streamline flow. So if the fluid will be rotational, so Bernoulli equation can be applicable only for a particular streamline flow. That I have written in next slide. You see. So this is the fluid is irrotational. Then we can write down this one. So now, if you see this pipe flow, suppose this is my datum line. From this datum line, suppose this is point 1 or this section 1, which is at Z1 distance, and this is section 2, okay, which is the section 2, which is at distance Z2. Okay, if you write down the Bernoulli equation at various sections, and B1 by rho g plus Z1 plus B1 square by 2g, P2 by rho g, Z2, and this is for ideal flow. Okay, this equation is valid for ideal flow, and this equation only applicable at various locations when the fluid flow is irrotational. When the fluid flow will be irrotational, then only we can apply this Bernoulli equation at various sections of the pipe flow. Now, what are the assumptions of the Bernoulli equation? Okay, so what are the assumptions has been made in Euler equation derivation? Same assumption has been applied in Bernoulli equation. And first assumption has been taken the flow to be a steady flow, and the second assumption means the viscosity of the fluid has been not considered, and the force due to compressibility also has been not considered. So this is applicable for steady flow, inviscid flow, and incompressible flow. And the flow must be irrotational. That you have to remember. The flow must be irrotational. So here clearly I have written, if the flow is rotational, then the Bernoulli equation cannot be applied at particular section. In fact, or rather, it can be applied along a particular streamline. Okay, so if the fluid will be rotational, then the Bernoulli equation can only applied along a particular streamline. Okay. So now if I want to write down the Bernoulli equation at various section 1 and 2, suppose this is my section 1 and this is my section 2. So this is, I already told you, at this section the cross sectional area is, suppose that there is A1 and there is A2, and the cross sectional area is A1 is not equal to this A2. So if this A1 will be not equal to, so velocity also at this two section will be not equal. So if you write down this one Bernoulli equation, so this is P1 by rho g plus Z1. So Z is, this is my datum line, this one my datum line. So from this datum line we will consider all the elevation of the various points or various sections. So this Bernoulli equation is valid for ideal flow. But what about when the there is a real flow, real fluid flow, when the viscosity will not exist, but when there is a real flow will be there, real pipe flow will be there, what will the, how you can write down the Bernoulli equation? So before you will go to the real fluid flow, you should understand the various part of the Bernoulli equation. Generally it has considered three parts. First one is called Z, because this one is P1 by rho g plus Z plus this is B square by 2g equal to constant. So this Z is called as potential energy. Okay, this is potential energy per unit weight of the fluid. So energy per unit weight of the fluid generally is called as head. This generally is called as head. So this is called potential head. So energy per unit weight of the fluid is called head. So this is Z is called as potential head. Similarly, B square by 2g is called as, this B square by 2g is called as kinetic energy per unit weight of the fluid. So energy per unit weight of the fluid is called head. So B square by 2g is called kinetic head. Similarly, P by rho g is called pressure energy per unit weight of the fluid, that is called pressure head. this is also called as the energy, flow energy. This is also called as flow energy. Okay, the energy which is generally required to make a flow, that is called flow energy. So now if you want to write down this Bernoulli equation for real fluid, suppose you want to write down the Bernoulli equation for real fluid. The fluid is flowing here. Okay, so this is my first section, this is section 2, and energy at section 1 will be equal to energy at 2 plus some losses when the fluid is flowing from this location to another location. Suppose this travel distance L, so there will be some loss of energy due to the frictional forces, because when the fluid is flowing, it is exerting a friction at the surface of the pipe. So that is due to there is some energy will be lost. So that loss of energy is called the head loss. Okay, so there is some loss of energy are there. So for a real fluid, generally we are considering the loss. What is the loss of head due to the friction? Okay, minor losses has not been taken into account, but if it is considered, then we can take into account the minor losses. But the major losses is the loss due to the frictional loss. So if you write down the Bernoulli equation at various sections, this is P1 by rho g plus Z1 V1 square by 2g. Similarly, but in case of real fluid, we have to include this loss part. What is the loss of head due to the friction? So this is the equation. So this is the way by which you can write down the Bernoulli equation for a real fluid. So in next part, so suppose I already told you in fluid static, the fluid is flowing due to the pressure difference. As far as the fluid static is concerned, the fluid will be flow from one section to another point due to the difference in pressure. But as far as the dynamics, fluid dynamic has been concerned, the fluid is flowing from one section to another section due to difference in energy at that two sections. Suppose this section 1, if the fluid is flowing from this section to this section, then the fluid is moving because of the energy difference. What is the energy? This is the sum of the energy: potential energy, kinetic energy, and pressure energy. And we cannot say, if you calculate the pressure energy at this point, we will say at this point 1 is greater than at point 2, then we can say the fluid is flowing from 1 to no. We have to calculate the total energy. So total energy, if the total energy at point section 1 is greater than at section 2, then the fluid will be flow from section 1 to section 2. Similarly, if the total energy is at section 2 is greater than the total energy at section 1, then the fluid will be from this section 2 to section 1. So basically, we have to remember the fluid is flowing from one section to another section when there is a difference in total energy. Because you add this is difference in total energy. Okay, this is the total energy. So next, so this is up to this we have discussed today. So this is for thank you for watching. Okay, thank you for watching. And next class we will talk about what are the application. So what are the application of this Bernoulli equation? What are the application of this Bernoulli equation? Okay, so you plus subscribe my channel. Subscribe is I am not taking any money from you. Subscribe. If you subscribe the channel, then automatically you will get the video notification when you open the YouTube channel. And subscribe and my channel. This is Civil IQ. Okay, and there is also you can join in with me in Telegram. That is also you can find in my Telegram, that is Civil IQ, and join with me.